This could have happened in any city. However, what took place occurred in my city. I work here. I'm a cop. It was Tuesday, September 17, 12:47 p.m. I was working the day shift, Environmental Crimes Division, when a report came in of a grisly death by the bridge. My name is Fritag, Detective Fritag.
Roger, what do we have here?
Hey, detective. This woman over here claims wants a dead fish washed up on the shore.
Dead fish, where's the dead fish?
Well, we collected them up and sent them to the lab to get tested with the professor.
Thanks, Sergeant. I'll go check on her.
The woman stated she was heading home. She looked over the bridge and saw some dead fish on the side of the stream. She noted at the time that the water was muddy, like chocolate milk. It did rain hard that day, and looking over the bridge, I could see how high the water had gotten. The stream bank looked worn away. Perhaps there is a connection here. I'll have to talk to the professor about that. Professor! 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 Professors?
Ah, Fritag, how good to see you.
You really should work facing the door.
I'm sorry, I was just looking over the fish that were brought in.
Find anything?
Yes, it seems that the fish had suffocated.
Suffocated, you say? I didn't realize that fish could breathe air.
Well, most can't breathe air, but fish do have gills to absorb oxygen that's dissolved in the water. And if sediment gets into the water, it can clog their gills, effectively suffocating them. In addition, if you allow sediment to get in the water, it will allow other things like nutrients and E. coli bacteria, which may cause algae blooms and other environmental problems.
Crap! Now, Professor, I recall you working on something involving E. coli in the past case, and that E. coli was, in your words, a monster of a problem.
Oh, it still is. It's the biggest problem in our state. However, we have found that if you reduce the amount of sediment getting into the stream, it can go to get rid of a lot of E. coli as well. It's because sedimentation and E. coli travel the same ways through stormwater runoff.
Can you give me any leads from your tests that might be able to help me in this case?
You should talk to my associate Anna. She helped me with that bacteria problem a while back. She's an expert in sediment.
Thanks, Professor.
See you later, Fritag. Now, if I can only figure out why these fish turned into plastic.
Have to do. Detective Fritag. The professor sent me over here to ask you some questions about a recent fish kill.
Oh yes, the professor called and did say you were stopping by. I have some leads for you.
What did you find? Does it have anything to do with sediment getting into the water and possibly killing fish?
Well, as the professor may have mentioned, it looks like the fish kill is due to excess sediment entering the streams. This can happen when we don't have enough vegetation to hold the soil from washing away when it rains.
That makes sense. When I was investigating, I noticed that there was only sediment and rocks on the riverside banks. Also, the woman who reported the issue said that the water looked an awful lot like chocolate milk.
Well, that's not surprising. Usually a lot of erosion happens when people get rid of their trees just so that they have access to water body. Even if there's grass there, the lack of larger plants with deeper systems allow the rain to wash away. The faster the water moves, the more sediment it carries.
Thank you, ma'am. You've been very helpful. Oh, one last thing. If the soil is all covered in asphalt, concrete, then how can that create erosion?
Well, even with all the impervious surface, the stormwater has to go somewhere. So that's why we have storm drains. The problem is, though, that all the water goes into the stream at once. Here, look at this picture. That pipe you see here is an outfall of a storm drain. Due to all of the rainwater that enters the stream at one time from multiple drains, it creates this fire hose effect and blasts the stream bank away. Over time, it's eroded away so much that it can cause the drain to collapse into the stream bed.
Surely, you can't be serious.
I am, but don't call me Shirley.
Thank you, ma'am. You've been very helpful.
I always am.
Erosion. She and the professor seemed pretty sure it was the problem. It seems to make sense, but I need to know for sure. It was time to look for the suspects. Yep, she was right. Grass is not a great way to slow down rainwater. It seems that cutting the grass really short makes the problem worse. Construction seems to be a problem. Clearing off all the vegetation is just an invitation for rainwater to wash away the soil. Sure, silk fencing and hay bales can help, but if it is not being maintained properly or improperly installed, the muddy water will just find a way around. Impervious surface, she called it. It is easy to see why it is called that. With no place to enter the ground, rainwater has to go somewhere, where even small rainstorms drop hundreds of thousands of gallons of water in just a few minutes, all of that water going down the drain, carrying along motor oil, dirt, bacteria, and fertilizer, all washing into your local creek, stream, or river, where it creates algal blooms and fills in creeks with sediment. It's no wonder the fish died. There are just so many sources, too many suspects, really, to bring in for the trial. The only thing we can do is each of us doing our part to reduce erosion. Keep our waterways buffered with native shrubs and trees and not grass. Promote better stormwater practices in urban areas by using permeable pavement and filtering storm drains. Promote the use of rain barrels and cisterns. If we all did our part, our waterways will get cleaner. Sure, it will take time, but it'll be worth it in the end.